In the village of Olakuta, where the hills rose like sleeping giants and the rivers carried whispers from the gods, time moved to the beat of the sacred drum. It was not an ordinary drum, its skin was stretched from the hide of the ancestral ram sacrificed 100 seasons ago, its frame carved from the Iji Iroko tree said to hold the spirits of warriors past. The drum beat only once every year, during the Festival of Spirits, when the veil between the living and the dead grew thin. The people of Olakuta believed the sacred drum could summon blessings, rain for the harvest, protection from disease, visions for the priesthood. Its rhythm echoed into the spirit world and brought harmony between the ancestors and the living. This sacred rhythm was entrusted to one family, generation after generation, the family of the drum keeper. Olamide was the only child of Chief Ayatond, the current drum keeper. Her beauty was the kind that could cause a river to change its course. Eyes like obsidian stone, skin the color of roasted palm kernel, and a voice that carried both sorrow and hope. But she carried more than beauty, she carried duty. From birth, she was trained in rituals, chants, dances, and silence. She learned the sacred patterns to awaken the drum. She learned when to speak and when to let the spirit speak through her. Yet there was one thing Olamide was never taught, how to silence her heart. Adewale was from Modikik, a warrior from the neighboring village, once a blood enemy to Olakuta. The old wars had left scars that refused to fade, families divided, farms burned, rivers poisoned by rage. Though the battles had ceased, the bitterness remained. It was taught in proverbs, sung in dirges, and carved into the elders' stones. Adewale came to Olakuta under the banner of truce, to train with the hunters during the season of exchange. He was tall, silent, with eyes that seemed to see beyond masks and skin. He moved like a leopard and listened like a priest. Olamide saw him first from the shrine window. He was carrying firewood, sweat tracing down his neck. She turned away quickly, her heart thudding like a second drum in her chest. Their paths crossed again at the river. Olamide had gone to collect herbs under the moonlight, a time when the medicinal roots were said to be strongest. She stumbled on a loose stone and nearly fell into the current. A firm hand caught her. She looked up at Adewale. Neither spoke for a moment. The river roared louder, as if trying to cover their silence. "I didn't mean to startle you," he said, his voice deep, steady. "I wasn't startled," she lied. He let go of her arm, but something lingered. An energy. A question unspoken. From then, they began to meet in secret. Behind the old market shrine. Beneath the fig tree near the boundary stones. By the waterfall where the spirits were said to dance at dusk. They spoke of dreams, of fear, of the burden of bloodlines. And eventually, they spoke of love. But love in Olakuta was not simple. It was bound in rituals, customs, and the eyes of the ancestors. When the festival of spirits approached, preparations began. The villagers painted their homes with white clay. Elders sang through the night. Masks were cleansed in bitter leaf water. And Olamide, chosen by her father and the oracle, was to awaken the drum at the ceremony's climax. On the day of the festival, 1,000 feet gathered before the shrine. Drummers sat in a circle, their sticks poised. The air was heavy with anticipation, incense, and silent prayers. Olamide stood at the altar, adorned in white, her face streaked with ash and camwood. Her heart pounded. She struck the drum. Silence. Again, she struck. Nothing. The crowd began to murmur. Her father stepped forward, confusion turning to dread. Olamide struck once more. Still, the sacred drum remained mute. The priest screamed and tore his robe. Children cried. The air turned cold. And the sky dimmed, though the sun had not set. In the chaos, the oracle was called. He sat before the altar, chewed bitter kola, and cast the sacred cowries. They landed in a pattern not seen in generations. "There is betrayal in the house of the drum keeper," he intoned. A bond has been broken. The ancestors have turned away. All eyes turned to Olamide. She felt the weight of 1,000 souls pressing down on her. Her father stepped toward her, voice shaking. "What have you done, child?" I loved," she whispered. "Who?" Tears welled in her eyes. She did not answer. But she didn't have to. From the edge of the crowd, Adewale stepped forward. Gasps filled the air. A mother fainted. An elder cursed. "You defiled the sacred bloodline with a muddy kick," her uncle spat. "He is not a curse," she cried. "He is a man." "And I?" "Enough," her father thundered. "You will be cleansed. Or you will be cast out." The oracle declared the path. Olamide must journey into the forest of forgotten echoes to seek forgiveness. There, if the spirits returned the voice of the drum, she could return. If not, she would remain lost forever. She agreed without hesitation. But as she prepared that night, Adewale came to her. "You will not go alone. You cannot. It is forbidden. So is our love." But that did not stop us. They left before dawn. Into the forest where trees bent unnaturally and shadows whispered your name. They walked until time blurred. The forest tested them. A river that ran backward. A clearing where night stayed even at midday. A child with silver eyes who asked riddles that twisted the heart. One night, they reached the heart tree, a massive baobab said to be the navel of the spirit world. Olamide lit the ritual fire and danced the dance of remembrance. She sang the song of the first drum. And she wept. "I have sinned," she cried to the spirits. "But if love is a sin, then I am guilty. If loving him has broken the bond, then let my blood bind it again." Silence. Then wind. Then a sound. Far, far away, yet inside their bones. The sacred drum had awakened. Its voice was slow, deep, mournful, but it beat. The forest shivered. The spirits stirred. And the path home opened. They returned to Olakuta. The villagers stood in awe. The oracle bowed. Her father wept. The drum now beat, but it had changed. Its rhythm was no longer of joy. It was of sorrow, memory, forgiveness. Olamide and Adewale could not marry. The customs would not allow it. So she remained. He left. She became the drum's keeper. Alone, but not broken. And the drum, it weeps still. But its tears no longer mean loss. They mean that even love, forbidden and broken, can teach a village to listen again. Even when the ancestors weep. Like and follow for more interesting tales.